Hello everyone, it's Melanie Boylan here from Stomp Social Media Training, and it's Monday. We have finally made it to Monday. So what am I going to be talking about today? Well, today I want to talk to you about making converting creations. No, I don't. Hi everyone, it's Melanie Boylan here from Stomp Social Media Training. Hope you had a great weekend and didn't get blown about too much. Today, I'd like to talk to you about creating content, which seems to be what an awful lot of people get stuck with. And, I didn't find it easy at the beginning either. You don't normally get a huge amount of help with this sort of thing, and it can be quite niche depending on your type of business and industry, of course. But what can every single business do to create content? What kind of content do we need to create? How often do we need to put up the content? Yeah, there's quite a few questions there, isn't there? Okay, well, first up, the kind of content you can create. And it doesn't matter whether you are a product or a service. Well, you can create checklists, stuff that people can, make sure they have got in order to do or make themselves nice or get something completed or done. And that can also be in the form of a download, which in turn then becomes a lead magnet. See where I'm going with this? So, content can be quite interactive when you use it properly. It really depends on where you're putting the content as well, I suppose. Are you going to put it on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn? And are you going to be doing stories? So if you're going to be doing stories, then they're going to be needed to be recorded or posted or whatever in a different format. As you know, stories is, vertical, and everything else pretty much is horizontal. So there's an awful lot of things you need to, put into your mind when you're creating content. When I create content, I tend to think, okay, so what have I got coming up over the next couple of weeks that I'd like to draw people's attention to? Are there any blogs that I'm going to be creating or an event that I'm going to be, either attending, speaking, or doing? You've got to think ahead and plan ahead in order to prepare your content in time for that thing. So this is very much a diary sort of, sit down and go through your diary and see what you've got in mind. There may be some special days that we need to take into account. There may be a special, awareness week that's relevant to your business that you might want to take into account and include in your strategy. But it's not all about delivering knowledge to people all the time, although that is obviously quite handy. I would also recommend you look at polls, getting their knowledge, their opinion on things that you feel will matter to you and to them. Something else you can take into account. You can just do general questions. You don't always have to do polls, which obviously is, it's a yes or no kind of answer, but you can ask questions and put them out there. I find I get quite good interaction on my Instagram account, actually. I've seen that kind of explode on questions quite well recently. But again, it depends on your platforms. One of the things I find do tend to go quite well is storytelling. When you're telling people, what you are going through, how you're building your business or how you're scaling up your business, obviously it depends on where you are. And if you're a startup, by all means, tell people about your story as you start up, but don't just stop. You can continue telling people about your business, your growth, any problems you've overcome, because people are interested. But I think what really matters is building like a community, a tribe behind you. And to do that, your best bet is to think of what they want to hear about. There's latest news, any special events that they will want to go along to, not necessarily yours, but something that they would want to go to. Maybe there's some local enterprise office events, if it's business related. Or maybe there's a great big fair or event coming up in Dublin. It really depends on your industry. And all of this content can be either created by yourself, or if you're interested and have the time to set aside, you may want to use a virtual assistant. Yeah, they're actually really skilled at creating content for you using your brand colors, your logos, and they can be whiling away their time doing that whilst you're doing something else that's going to be equally as productive for your business. So I'd love to hear from you what kind of content you have found has worked over the years, or even in the last couple of weeks, because it does change. And leave it in the comments, and we can all learn from the kind of content that's worked for you. That's all for today. I'll be back very soon.